Hello friends, and welcome back to our little coffee club. Okay, yes, I know it's not a Friday video, this is a Sunday video. No worries, I will be in front of the camera. Give me some time here. I'm trying the new setup. And funny enough, talking about setup, you guys, man, some of you guys gonna think I'm crazy. I just spent at least 30 to maybe even 45 minutes trying to find a new angle from above that I am happy with. And I can tell you right now that this is not it, but being that I spent all this time trying it, I'm gonna move forward with it. Who knows, maybe it will surprise me and I get something that I'm finally happy with. I doubt it, but today we're gonna do filter coffee and espresso. So hang in there, let's start as a matter of fact, let's start the Bianca. I didn't wanna get it going too early. I'm gonna make a milk drink, so temperature is not vital. We don't have to be extremely hot here. We'll do a dark roast and make a cortado later and keep practicing on my latte art. Not that it's ever gonna get any better, but we have to keep trying, right? Like I always tell you guys in life, you know, if you're gonna worry about perfecting something before you start, or you gotta figure everything out before you start, you're just never gonna start. So just get going and keep trying, and eventually you'll come up with something that you like. That's what I'm doing with my overhead shot. Eventually, one day, I'll find a way that, a way that maybe I enjoy it and I like it, and the setup is the way I want it. The workflow is easy. If it never happens, then hey, you just keep trying. Do the best you can. Move forward. But yeah, just get going. Get started in life on whatever it is you want to get started on. And improve as you go, as they say. All right, let me see, let me check everything, make sure. Let me check the mic seems to be okay, but I am going to start another clip. I want to be more careful with my mic. I don't want to have to re-record. I'm only 2 minutes in. Give me a second. So yeah, mic should be good. This is an edited video. It is a Sunday video. You're going to get all the angles, all the different things that you enjoy. So we'll do everything today. And we're making filter coffee and espresso, Please try to please everyone. We're going to brew. Let's see, the coffee's in here. Let me get the coffee out first thing. So this is a Fellow Utmost vacuum canister. It makes a vacuum seal, kind of keeps your coffee fresh. If you're gonna keep it for, let's say, 2-3 months, this might be a good way of doing it. If you want to keep it really long term, I've said it many times, you just vacuum seal it. Get one of these little machines that'll do a vacuum seal, one of those little bags, and then seals it with heat, and then you can keep that in the freezer. And with that method, you can keep it for years. I have coffee frozen for like 3 years now. One day we'll bring one of those bags out and re-brew it and revisit the coffee. But all right, a lot of these coffees that Ken sent me, that's what I'm doing. So I'm portioning them out to 100 grams or 50 grams and just vacuum sealing and freezing so that I can have them fresh and keep them fresh and always have something interesting to present here on the show. But yeah, I've been freezing a lot of it. These two that are in here are the last two that I made. Okay, the last two that I recorded, but the videos are still not synced up. The Friday and the Sunday stuff is not in sync, so I'm not sure the order, but most likely you saw me brew these two coffees already on the Flair 58, and you probably saw that a few weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. But for me, I just recorded that this week, okay? So now I wanna try it as filter coffee, and that's what we're gonna do today. So they're both in here. You could see the vacuum, and then I have both bags here. You put this off to the side. Okay, so the two coffees that are in question here is the Standout, Sweden, Ethiopia, and this one. I think this was the very last one that I tasted. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that word, Finland Benjamin Pass. So today we're gonna try both of these as filtered. I still haven't had them as filtered. Like I said, I just brewed these, like one of them, I think I did this one. No, I did Standout. I believe I did Standout No, I did stand out like 2-3 days ago, and I think I did this one yesterday on the Flair 58. But neither one I've tried as filtered, so that's what I'm gonna get to right now. So I have the overhead shot kind of planned out. I'm gonna roll with it and see how that looks today. Let me set up the cameras, and oh no, wait, again, a lot of times I get ahead of myself. I get ahead of myself. Hold on. We got to dose out, check retention, do our 12 grams, all that good stuff. So let's start with this one, the one from Finland. Yeah, dosing out from one of these bags is not as comfortable as a regular coffee bag. At least I have, maybe it's that I'm not used to it. Maybe it's the way I'm cutting this. I don't know. I don't know, but it's always a little more complicated. Okay, how I'm gonna do this? I don't want to make a mess. There we go. Okay, we're just over 12. You know, if you have the time, you can be accurate with your dosing and all these things. But you know, is it gonna matter half an ounce here? Or, I mean, I'm sorry, half a gram here or half a gram there. It's not gonna matter much, but we are and try to be accurate. It's part of the fun, and I don't mind it. Again, your workflow has to be enjoyable. That is the main thing. Okay, so it looks, should I take out a bean? Okay, we're gonna take out a bean. That's 12 grams. Okay, let's do the first one here, see if we get any retention. Grind size will be 55 for both coffees. Again, I haven't tried either one as filters, so they're not dialed in. I don't know what I'm gonna get from this, but we'll see. I always usually start grind size 55 on the Duo to try a new coffee as filtered. That's where I start. So these coffees are very lightly roasted. Water temperature is gonna be just off boiling. A little bellows, let's check it. Okay, 12 grams, exactly what we put in, we got out. We had absolutely no retention. Okay, we're 5 minutes in and we're already grinding coffee. We're doing all right. We're doing all right today. Oh, maybe it's not even 5 minutes, because that's right, I'm gonna do some editing. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, these two types of beans look way different, way different. These beans are little, those beans were big. These in the middle are darker than those, although I know they're both light roast. But if you had to guess from just looking at them, you would say this one is more developed, the standout. Plus they're tiny beans. You guys know my theory on the tiny beans. I think standout I'm gonna like better, but we'll see. I think the tiny beans, they pack more flavor. Of course, that's not a thing, guys. Don't listen to me, I'm just some dude. It's just my theory. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an engineer, I'm just some guy. Little bellows, tap the spout. 11.9. Well, let's try the bellows and all that again. I mean, a 0.1 doesn't matter, you know, no, but at this point it's just curiosity. I want to see if it comes up to 12. No. So we got everything we're gonna get out there, and we're gonna proceed with this. Okay, so now that we ground the coffee, check retention, all that good stuff, I have to separate these in some way so that I remember, okay, this was the standout. Let me set it up in a way that I'll remember, and I'll see you guys on the next clip. Okay, so I have two angles going, and we'll see how this setup works. I will tell you right now that it's very unlikely that this setup gets used once again because it's extremely, extremely complicated workflow and not very enjoyable. And the enjoyment of my brew session is priority number one. So, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it and see what happens here. What do I have to tell you? Okay, I already did the rinse because I didn't even know if it was going to be possible for me to use the kettle and pour into the two origamis with all this stuff in the way. So, but it is possible. I was able to do the rinse. Not the easiest thing in the world, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll be shocked here and I I reuse this setup once again, but I can't imagine. This was just no bueno. All right, I already hit something out of place. Okay, come on. Yeah, this is like, wow. You need to have surgical precision here to be able to do this pour over. Oh boy. Okay. So I got the water out of this one. This one's gonna hold the standout. This is the standout here. It's gonna go into the white origami, and it has the cup with the wide mouth. So the orange origami is the narrow mouth there, and that's gonna hold the other coffee, the one from, what was it, Sweden? Okay, oh, I just hit the phone. Like I said, there's like no room, but we'll see. I'm gonna push forward. I took the time to do this, so I will push forward here and hope for the best. Okay, here's the, oh, I haven't gotten the water out of this one. I don't wanna forget. Imagine that. Then I end up with a mess. Oh, I have the overhead light also going on. So that, again, that's not ideal because I lose some of my ambience. I see that on one of the shots, it still looks halfway decent. And on the overhead shot, you could see fairly okay. So we'll see how this works. All right, here's my other coffee. I can't tap it. I don't have any room for to be able to tap it. Okay, doesn't matter. We're set up. You can see the bottom of the coffee. Yes, when this starts to rise, I might not have enough distance there, but I don't see any other way. We're gonna have to, again, keep pushing forward here. Should I lock it? I'm not even gonna lock it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing there with its focusing and see what happens. I don't know. Okay, start the Akaya. Start the timer. Again, I love having the switch instead of the touch buttons, because when you go clean it, it goes crazy on you. This one, you just turn it off with the switch and then you can clean it as much as you want. You have no issues. Okay, am I running? Everything's running. I think I'm ready to start pouring here. Which one we should start with? I don't know which one's gonna go faster or anything. I haven't tried these as filter coffee at all, so I don't think it matters. Let's just start with this one back here, the orange. Again, my pouring structure, I usually do 30 circle to 30 center for 60 grams. Okay, I nailed that today. Let's see, it's draining kind of fast. And the second pour comes out usually at around 20 seconds, maybe 25, at most 30. Today, I'm gonna go again, 25 seconds. We're pouring again. So now we go to 90 and then to 120 center. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little swirl because it seems to be going kind of fast. Okay, I'm gonna start with the other coffee. This one's a lot easier to pour into. 30 center to 60 grams. Perfect. And usually my last pour will happen at around 1:15, 1:20 seconds, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna do my second pour over here at 23 seconds, take it to 90, and then to 120. A little bit more. Okay, I'll leave it there. I have to pour on the last one already because I'm at 123 and it's almost done dripping. To 180. Yeah, these brews are happening quite fast. Give it a swirl. So I'm done with this one. Now we just wait to see what kind of time we hit. I usually like to be somewhere around 3 minutes, but there's no way that's gonna make it to 3 minutes. It'll be closer to 2 minutes. But we'll see. It's gonna go over 2. We'll see it's slowing down. We might hit something reasonable. Okay, and here we are at 120. I'm gonna pour again. I'm not gonna swirl this one anymore because it's going way slower than the other one. Okay, I finished both at 180. I'm done with the kettle. This one slowed down a whole bunch after the last swirl. It's about to finish. But it's still going. Who knows? It might make it to 3 minutes. I doubt it. It's completely dry on top now. Let it drip for a few more seconds. Once the dripping becomes very slow, I just call it. Because, I mean, it'll drip there all day. So, you know, right here, that's it. We're calling it. So that ended up at 2 minutes and 52 seconds. This one, like I said, it was going way slower. This one's probably going to go over 3 minutes. So this one, 252, that's perfect for me to try a coffee. This coffee, depending what it tastes like, the standout, the one in the white origami, this one I'm probably gonna grind coarser. So grind size 55, might not do it. I might have to go to 60, maybe do no agitation at all. There's different things you can try. Maybe do the flat bottom filter. Oh, if you go to the Sybaris, forget it. You cut the time in half. So we could go to the Sybaris. Maybe this is the one we should try with the Sybaris. Grind it like really fine and go with the Sybaris and see what kind of time we get. That's the standout coffee. I might do that. I might do that on a Friday, a Friday video. Revisit the the Sybaris paper, alien technology. That's incredible. Okay, it's almost dry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, don't worry. It's not a big deal, but it was on a Friday video. I tried for the first time Sybaris paper and it was incredible. Like how fast. All right, it's dry, but it's still dripping. I'm about to call it. I see it dripping still, but it's going slow now. I'm gonna call it here. So this one ended up at 330. So that's, you know, some coffees taste really good at 330. I mean, I'm not upset with that. So 250 to 330, you know, 40-second difference. That's quite a big difference. But for these two coffees, who knows, right? I will dial in from here. So let me go ahead and set up the camera on the other side now. And I wonder, you know, I don't know, maybe this worked all right. We'll see. But the rest of the video, well, we're gonna make espresso. Yeah, we'll make espresso, but I'm gonna talk to you guys first. So let me set up the other side. Give me a second. All right, here we go. I'm back. So just before starting the clip, I gave the two coffees a good stir, and now they're ready to be tasted. They've been cooling down for the last couple of minutes, so it should be perfect now for tasting. So let's try it. Okay, so this is the one from Standout. Beautiful aroma, very clean. I don't expect any shenanigans happening with this one. There's no fermentation or anything. This is just straight up washed coffee. There's nothing to indicate otherwise here. So, cheers. Wow, there's a lot there. Very, very nice. You know, somewhat citrus notes. I'm not sure if this is the one that I said passion fruit. I don't recall, but maybe. Very well balanced. Nice pop of acidity up front, and then sweetness. We'll see how it changes as it cools. But I mean, it's a delicious coffee. Just, I think that's why the name, Standout. Okay, and this is the one from Finland. Wow, the aroma, totally different. There's something way different with this one. I would not call it like any kind of fermentation, but just, it's way different. There's I don't know what I'm gonna call it. They smell totally different. This one's like fruity, kind of like normal kind of scent. This is different. This is unique. Yeah, there's like a woodiness to it. Like maybe this is the one that I said tobacco somewhere in the background. It could be. You know, you guys might say like, how does he doesn't remember if he just had it yesterday? But the thing is, I'm like right now in the middle of so many coffees, and they're all different tasting notes, different. I don't try to memorize it. I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't recall at all. So, but that's what I'm saying. All right, let's taste it. Oh, my goodness. Day and night, these two coffees are nothing alike. This is still clean, but totally different. This has way more like interesting kind of flavors. This is a lot more normal kind of fruitiness, kind of. This one's like way different, way more interesting. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, I mean, they're both equally wonderful, but way different. Is this the tiny beans? No, actually, this is not the tiny beans. This is the bigger beans. So this time I was completely wrong. The tiny beans are way more normal, way less to it. Is this the one that brewed longer? No, that's also no. I think the one that brewed longer was the Standout. So very interesting result. There's a lot more here. There's a lot more interesting cup. You know, this one's sweeter in some ways, easier to drink. This is more interesting and just more unique. Man, okay. Yeah, you have like that tobacco and like herbal quality in the background. The acidity. This one's a lot more tart. Not a lot more. It's more tart. More like that berry tartness. Let's go back to this one. But equally wonderful, just wow, but way different. It's just crazy. It's way different from the way that the coffee smells, the aroma, the acidity is different, the sweetness is, everything's different about these 2 cups of coffee. It's crazy. Cleaner, lighter, less body. Less in the finish, more upfront, more citrusy, like citrus notes I'm getting. This I'm getting more tartness, more berryness, more depth of flavor, more body, more to it. Both of them are super good. I mean, it's hard to pick. If you ask me right now which cup you rather drink, well, it's a difficult decision. I say, you know, can I have half and half? Can I get like a cup of each? It's just fun. I've been doing so many more of these like side-by-side tastings. Yeah, before it was not a thing for me. I never used to do this like side-by-side. Now on just regular days, I'm always doing this kind of thing where I brew either 2 different coffees or the same coffee with 2 methods, different timing, or maybe they're trying the different grinders. Yeah, I see myself doing this all the time now. Before, I always did 20 grams in and 300 grams out, right? Still the same ratio, but now I'm a lot more likely to do two 12-gram doses. Yes, it's a little bit more coffee, but from 300 to what, 360, not a big deal. Man, it's so different. So different. Yeah, you just smell it and it's just so different. This one is that intensity, is that herbal quality, is the way in the background that tobacco kind of flavor, the upfront tartness and acidity from like berry tartness. Just your mouth just waters and it just, wow, it's really, really an experience. The sweetness, it just builds. After the tartness starts to fade, the sweetness just builds and it lasts. It's delicious. I love this. Espresso is fun, but wow, filter coffee, man, you just gotta have both. You gotta do both methods. I know a lot of you are just strictly filter coffee, and some folks are strictly espresso. You just it's different. It's different. The experience with the coffee is different. Yeah, it's just, I gotta have both. I really do. Wow, from the way it smells to the intensity. Okay, if you're a casual you're not a hobbyist, I think you would enjoy this one more. Although you'll think it's tea or something. A hobbyist, you'll be so interested by what's going on the other cup that I think you would like the other one. Because you'd be like, man, there's just so much there. This is so exciting. We have coffee every day, right? And we have all kinds of wonderful coffees. They're both equally wonderful. But sometimes you get something like this that is just out there and very clean. There's nothing that indicates to me that there's been any kind of fermentation or any kind of tinkering or anything like that. From the way it smells to the way it tastes. However, if I had to guess, listen, one of these two coffees was fermented. Maybe, obviously not a co-ferment, but some kind of fermentation. I would absolutely guess that one. There's no doubt about it. But it's so clean that I don't think so. I really don't think so. From the way it smells to the way the dry bean smells, to the way it was brewing, to everything, I would just say that is just a clean coffee. By now you guys have seen my video. I want to revisit that coffee. It's very interesting. It's a co-ferment. Well, this is the one that's in question. I got some replies back from you guys. Everybody's saying, hey, it says it's not a co-ferment. Listen, I don't care what they say. That coffee has to be a co-ferment, okay? There are some technical aspects. I don't know if you guys have looked into it, but there are some technical aspects and maybe it changes from country to country and from roaster to roaster or producer to producer. I don't know who's making these rules, but it seems that there are different rules and certain things you can add and still call it like clean washed, and it's not a co-ferment. Listen, I don't know. Like I said, if it walks like a dog, quacks like a dog, listen, it's probably a dog, all right? So I'm still sticking to my gun saying that that's a co-ferment. And I'm talking about Good Brothers Colombia Orange Bourbon. It's gotta be a co-ferment. I don't care what it says in the website or anywhere. Listen, it just straight up smells and tastes like a co-ferment, okay? So I wanna revisit that coffee. We'll play with it again. The blue cotton candy was also good, but that the Colombia one was just out there, man. It's and then they say it's not a co-ferment. Come on. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna finish enjoying the two cups, and I'll catch you guys on the next clip, and we'll make a cortado. All right. So now the espresso portion will begin. Man, those two coffees! What an experience! That coffee from Finland, man, that was so interesting. as it cooled and as I kept tasting it, different things emerged. You know, at one moment I wanted to say that I could taste some kind of vegetable. I could not point my finger as to what, but yeah, like I got some kind of vegetable type of sensation from it as it cooled. Again, the tobacco like lingering in the background, the tartness up front, maybe berries, some kind of berries, but it could also be some kind of strange citrus that I don't know. I wouldn't know how to recognize. Man, it was just that coffee was a full experience. I got so much more from the filter coffee than what I got from the espresso. Yeah, crazy. I don't know if that's the one that I think it brewed really fast. And if I would have gotten a better extraction on the Flair 58, I think more of that would have come out. I don't know. But the other one is very easy to drink and so different, so different. Sweeter coffee, easier to drink, way less going on. Again, even the mouthfeel, like it's just less there, you know, less depth of flavor, but easy to drink, sweet, very well balanced, nice pop of acidity up front, just gorgeous. But I got, from that one, I definitely got more like citrus notes. All right, anyway, let's move on. Let's go. Let me report back as to my dark roast coffees, right? So I've been having this one. You've seen it on the channel a few times. You know, I don't drink a lot of dark roast because dark roast is basically I use just pretty much only for milk drinks. And it's not like I make milk drinks every day, so it lasts me a long time. Now, one thing I do is also make mocha pot coffee in the mornings to mix with milk, because I don't, you know, a lot of times I just want to do things as quickly as possible. Now, a lot of times I film videos with you guys and I use the Flair 58. But a lot of other mornings, I just make a little bit of coffee on the mocha pot, put it in the milk and be done with it. That's like my breakfast, you know? And then after that, I make filter coffee. So that's what I always do. Now that I have the Flair, of course, that's opened new doors and stuff. But all right, so to report back as to the dark roast, you know, I finished the one that Anna gave me, the one with the cherry blossom. That's over, gone. Then I had the 2 bags of Nicoletti that I was going through, right? The old school. The old school ran out a long time ago. That I finished a long time ago. I made almost all of it on the mocha pot. Then I started having the original, I think it's called. I think the original was their light roast. Whatever, but that one's almost finished. And then there's the red bag. The red bag, I sent 100 grams to Jay. I don't know how. I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean it, buddy. But I warned you. There's something wrong with this coffee. And you know what? He didn't seem to care too much. It was like kind of okay for him. I thought it was horrible, hideous. Yeah, the red bag is still there. I have it in case we want to do experiments or I don't know, if anything comes out. I'm not drinking that one. I called it. The coffee's so bad, I'm not gonna drink the red bag. The other 2 in the mocha pot are acceptable. Even as espresso, you know, especially if you're mixing with milk. It's not a big deal. You could do that. And that's pretty much what I did with it. Make it in the mocha pot and mix it with milk and just add a little coffee flavor to my milk. And that's good enough for me. But, and yeah, I didn't want to throw all of it out. So the red bag is the only one lingering there. And again, we'll hold it for experiments. Okay, let's dose out. I should be focused. Let's dose out. You know, a few people have joined the channel. I don't know if there's anybody out there new. New to coffee, I mean, not new to the channel, but new to coffee, and you want me to cover some of the things that I do here, and why do you do this, and what do you call that, and you know, those kind of basic things. I don't usually keep going over that, but if there's somebody out there that wants a specific answer to something or a suggestion or something, you know, bring it up in the comments. If you want to just keep it between us, that's okay too. I've said before, because I like giving shout outs to people, and some people maybe are not okay with that. I don't know. Just tell me, hey, you know, keep it between us, but what do you think about this? And then I won't mention you on my video. Or you can reach out on Instagram, right? That just send me a DM. And on Instagram, no one's going to see. It's just between us, right? Just send me a DM on Instagram. And we also have an email. I've said it before. You guys should know. But it's ourlittlecoffeeclub@gmail.com. So I'll put it here on the screen. So make a note of it. If you ever wanna, send me an email, send it there, and we can chat through email as well. All right, let me put this off to the side. We have 18 grams. Also something I want to mention. I think it was this morning. I was as I was setting up and getting things ready, I was listening to Hoon, and I saw that he was grinding on the Niche Zero, a dark roast coffee that someone sent him, really dark, and it was taking long to grind. I've noticed the same thing. If the coffee is really dark like this one, you put it in and it kind of slow. It's really slow. It grinds really fast through like light beans. They just slide in. These obviously, because of the oils and everything, they're sticking and they're not funneling in as quickly, and they grind a lot slower than when you do a light roast. So it's just something I've noticed. I almost never used to do coffee this dark. So this is the first one when I started to notice that, how it takes so much longer to grind this than you put a light roast in there, it just goes right through. So, all right, so 18 grams. I'll show it to you guys in a second. Let me put it up here. We are at grind size 12. I think we used to be at 12 and a half. I went down by half a notch because usually as time goes, you have to keep adjusting a little bit finer and finer to get the same timing from the coffee. Right now I'm looking for, 30 seconds, let's say. And with this, I go to 8 bars. And I also don't do any kind of long pre-infusion or anything. I just ramp up slow, go to 8 bars and keep it there until the shot's done. And it should happen in around 30 seconds. Man, after having some coffee, you just feel so much better. The words flow better and it's just, but being that I have a coffee show, I can't have coffee before, there's just so much coffee you can drink. All right, let me show you guys this. I was removing the focusing lock. There you see. So it's dark, but I mean, I've seen darker. I've seen darker. So we got grind size 12. I've seen darker, but I don't know if I've had darker coffee than this. But I've seen them. I just haven't bought it. All right, here we go. Okay, let me show you the setup. You see how long it takes? It gives me time to show you the whole setup. I come back. There's still a couple of beans falling through. It just takes so much longer. They're still fighting in there. All right, let's see. Yeah, when you do these darker beans, definitely they stick and you might have some retention. Let's see. So we were at 18 grams. Oh, we got everything out. So, but yeah, a lot of times you'll get as much as half a gram. I mean, I've seen it happen with these dark beans. Okay, refocus. Well, this time we had no retention. 18 in, 18 out. We're gonna start by fluffing it up. Anyway, to fluff up, these needles are just so much better because it's way longer and they reach the bottom of the cup. It's easy. These, look how much shorter they are. I mean, it's crazy, right? This is almost half the size. So to do the puck prep, this is better. To fluff up, this is better. But I used to just use this one before I had this and it works just fine. It's funny, now people moved on from this to blind shaking and pretty soon somebody will think of something else and they'll move on from blind shaking to something else and just different trends, but it is fun. It is fun having all the tools and experimenting with the new way of thinking and see what happens. One thing I don't know if I mentioned is that the Bianca is set at 85 degrees for dark roast. I definitely don't want the machine super hot. 85 is more than good enough. I forgot my puck screen. All right, I got the puck screen here. Let's get the coffee in here. There was also some back and forth on the video where I compared the 3 styles of puck prep, just doing WDT versus just distribution versus just stamping. And people were a little bit confused with that video. But you got to understand that was, first of all, just for fun, just to see what happens, just for fun. Definitely, I'm not recommending that you do just one thing. I thought, though, that the result would be, somewhat similar. I didn't think it would be that much of a big deal. Also, I know that some people, all they do is tamp, but, they grind directly into the portafilter, which builds a little mound. And then they kind of go like this with their finger. They know how to do it. They have the skill for that. I don't know how to do that. If I start doing that, it's probably just going to get worse. And then the tapping, you guys saw in that video, I tapped it. Nothing happened. I couldn't get it to work. So for some folks with the right skill set as a barista, you could probably just dose right in here, go like this, boom, tamp, and you're brewing coffee and you're good to go. I don't have that kind of skill to be able to do that. I've been doing it this way all along, where at least I do WDT and tamp. So the WDT distributes everything evenly in the portafilter, and then I tamp. It's already kind of like even everywhere, and when you tamp down, that's good enough. If you have a distributor, use it. I think all three things is probably best. Although, I don't know, I still haven't heard back from Anton because that video, when I asked the question, has not posted. I hope he sees it, where I'm asking that, he was telling me that, and again, I maybe misunderstood the whole thing. But what I understood from his comment is that doing WDT is worse than like not doing WDT. That you should just tamp. Is that it? Or I know he's into the blind shaking. He enjoys the workflow and that it works better. And I'm agreeing with all of that. Because if it's been proven, somebody did some scientific test that I'm not going to do here in my kitchen and proved it that blind shaking works better than WDT, I understand. But saying that WDT actually makes it worse than nothing, I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't understand. So that's what hopefully he sees the question and he, gives me a little feedback. I didn't really understand that part. All right, let's refocus for the WDT. I definitely do WDT. First of all, I enjoy it. And I have the tools, so I want to use them, right? That's one thing. And if it's something that you are enjoying, then that wins out over anything else, because this is all about, the primary thing here is for enjoyment. You want to have fun with this. You want to enjoy it, get your morning started right. If you take coffee as a hobby, then all of these things are kind of fun for you. You enjoy it. And then at the end, you get a nice tasty drink. So it's a win-win. But definitely enjoyment is the number one thing here. So yeah, if you enjoy the blind shaking, go for it. If you enjoy WDT, go for it. That trumps anything else in my book. Okay, I am gonna do the distributor today because again, since I have it, I'll use it. It's one of those tools that's fun to use. And you know what? From the test that I did with just doing one or the other, right? This or just WDT or just tamping, this worked the best. If I would to pull a shot right now, just like this, it's gonna work just fine. The timing would be the same as if I tamp or not, and the pressure is gonna be, all of that's gonna be just about the same. Makes almost no difference. But again, we have the tools, so we will use them. So today we were driving the Tesla. You guys know how I compare. Is that the word? It's not the word I want to use, but I can't think of the right word. But you know how I kind of say that this is like driving a Tesla. It's just no brainer. You just you just go. Yeah, definitely it's not like driving a stick shift where you're really part of what's going on. And this is just tamp. Everything's going to be pretty much perfect every time. But it's, you lose some of the fun of it. Unless it's not fun for you, then for you it's perfect. Definitely, if you want to keep it consistent, this is the best way. Just go ahead and use a self-leveling spring-loaded tamper, and you're going to be golden. Get great results every time. All right, let me lock in. Let's run it. Let's run it. I haven't ran it, actually. I haven't used the Bianca probably for 2 weeks now. I've been doing nothing but Flare 58 and pour-overs and yeah. But today I want to make a milk drink, so we're going to go for it. We are set. We are locked and loaded. Paddle at 5 o'clock. Let me set up all the angles, because today you get all the angles. So let's set it up. All right, so I got all the angles going. Let me make sure. We have an extra angle today because I had an extra camera out. The quality is, I'm seeing that it's nowhere near my new phone. So where I control the paddle, this angle here where I control the paddle is being shot by my an old phone that I have which is what I use for the overhead shot today with the Brewers. And I'm noticing the quality is nowhere near what I get with my new phone. But again, the new phone today is getting this shot right here, so we can look at the pressure. See if I can include all 4 angles when I'm editing this, so you guys get everything, all the different angles. And hopefully my computer doesn't blow up in the process, because usually it's hard enough to edit 3 angles. So with 4 angles, maybe it explodes. My computer goes up in flames. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's an experiment. All right, so I got the scale going, the Akaya. Oh man, I'm not on the automatic espresso function, but it should be quick to turn on. It's just two how do you call it? 2 settings, not setting, 2 things down. I can't think of the word. All right, so now as the espresso function is on, all the cameras are running. This is crazy. All right, let's try it. We're gonna pull the shot into here. Okay, that tears by itself. Again, I'm gonna ramp up slow to 8 bars, hold it, hopefully 30-second shot, should be perfect. Let's do it. Here we go. Pressure usually starts coming in at around 9 seconds. So right now, and there it goes. I'm gonna close it a little bit so it goes up slow. All right, nice and slow. All right, here we are at 8 bars. Keep opening it, kind of hold it there. And I do 45 grams out. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. If it loses some pressure, that's fine. Okay, this brewed way slow. No idea why, but it is what it is. Okay, I ended at 45.8 in 38 seconds from first drip, but 49 seconds overall. Keep in mind that the first 9 seconds, there's no pressure or anything, but still 40 seconds, it should have brewed at least, well, not way slow, but it should have been done in at least 8 seconds faster. Yeah, 8 seconds faster. So maybe I should not have touched the grind size, and that's what made the difference. I was at 12.5 before. So okay, next time I'll do 12.5 again. Okay, let me stop all the cameras and set up again so we can taste it. All right, here we go. Let's give it a quick stir. Again, this is gonna be a milk drink, so I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna be fine. Cheers. Yeah, I've done better with this coffee. You know, those 8 seconds perhaps made quite a difference. There is a bit more bitterness in the background than normal. I usually get it a lot more balanced. So it's not spot on, I'll be honest. You always get my full disclosure here on this channel. Not my best effort, but you still get some of that caramel. There is some sweetness, but the bitterness in the background is a bit much. Of course, this is not gonna give you any upfront acidity, anything like that. It's a dark roast. But for milk, this is kind of like what I prefer. So, okay, let's put it over to the Cortado glass, because the plan here was to make a Cortado. All right, there it is. I think I'm gonna start a new clip. Let me set up for that and I'll start a new clip.
I see you struggle like butterflies in water, can't keep moving forward. I see your shoulders weighted down by armor. You don't need that protection. I would walk on glass. I would run 10,000 miles and more. I would give my eyes. If you lost your sight, I would run through fire. I would carry you through the heat. I would do it all again. If you needed me to, wish that I could take away your pain like sunbeams in the rain. Oh, we're family. Wherever you go, I'll follow. Whatever you do, I'll handle. I will walk on glass. I will run 10,000 miles and more. I will give my eyes. If you lost your sight, I will run through fire. I will carry you through the heat. I will do it all again. If you needed me to,
All right, let me show you guys. Let me show you. Not too good like always, but you know, today I think I made a bit too much foam. But you know, it's not. I like the way, like, the contrast is perfect. Wait, let me try to turn off the lock. There we go. So yeah, the contrast I think is kind of perfect, but it's not centered properly, and it came out a little bit small. I also didn't get any lines drawn, and I think that's because there was too much foam. So, but you know, I'm not totally upset with it. It's a pretty nice effort. We'll see the flavor. All right, let me set things up the way I like, and let's taste it. Cheers. Oh yeah, mix it with a little bit of milk, man. Okay, now it's right on point. Yeah, that's delicious. All right, it's still not my best effort, I admit it, but okay, let's see again. At the focus locked. There we go. So there you see it. You know, I'm not totally upset with it today. There's some aspects of it that I think came out pretty good, and some aspects that I think I can keep improving, of course. Man, you see some folks like on Instagram or even on YouTube, but they make it seem so easy, you know, but latte art is not easy. Okay, that's delicious. This video should be long enough now. You guys saw me in front of the camera. I'm gonna let you guys go here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of that. This will be a Sunday video, so please remember to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Drop into the comments, at least to say hello, leave me an emoji, you know, a thumbs up, anything. If you enjoyed it, you watched it to the end, drop in, say hello. And again, the Instagram pops up at the end of every video, or just about every video. So if you want to send me a question, or you know, something you want me to cover here on the channel, let me know. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys, my coffee family here on YouTube. Love you guys. Thank you again. And this will be a Sunday video, so I'll see you guys on Friday.